Hey guys, good to see you. Very much welcome to that webinar tonight on social selling. We are very excited to see all of you here. I have tonight with me Gaurav Kakkar, who is the head of digital marketing of HCL Technologies, and Apurva Chamaria, who's the head of corporate marketing of HCL. And very excitedly, all of us are on 3 different time zones. So Gaurav is right now in the US, Apurva is in London right now. And as you may know, I think Apurva is also talking in our UpGrad digital marketing program. Tonight is all about social selling. How can you actually use social media to not only increase your brand awareness, what usually social media is used for, but literally to use it for social selling. With this short introduction, I would now hand it over to Apurva. Before that, I would just encourage all of you guys. I know we have received around 280 questions, which is amazing. And we will go through some of them after Apurva and Gaurav have run through some slides that they have prepared for you guys. And I would also encourage all of you to actually really actively and engage with the discussion and share all questions that you might have on the chat window on the right side of this video. And we will go through some of the questions at the end of this webinar. So stay engaged, use this platform to raise any doubts that you might have. And with this, I'm now handing over to Apurva and Gaurav, who will run you through some slides on social selling that they have prepared only for you guys.
Thank you, Maris. Thank you, Maris and UpGrad, actually, for organizing such a great session. And it seems like a huge turnout, 280 questions. So what we will do in the next 30 odd minutes is we will walk through why is social selling needed? What has changed in the world of selling? We will talk about what is the best practice and what is the process which you should adopt to become a social seller. Walk through what is, how do you actually, what are the 6 steps in social selling? Cover a couple of case studies and then open for Q&A. So now what really has changed is buying has become a huge social process. So earlier in a B2B context, if decisions were made by 1 or 2 people, now on an average, about 5 to 6 people are involved in taking a decision, which basically means that it's very hard to do one-to-one sales, get through the gatekeeper, get through the influencer, and get to the decision maker. It is very, very important to navigate through this circuitous political decision-making process by actually creating your brand socially, influencing the decision makers even before you reach out to them, and making sure that they're aware of you. Now, what does social selling do? Does it basically remove traditional selling? No. What social selling actually does is it adds on and amplifies the social selling process, and it improves the efficacy of your sales techniques. Right? Now, most of the people would know that about 70% of people what is really, really important is social selling allows you to meet the targets. It allows you to actually influence target audience and do a better job of conversions. If we could move to the next slide, Gaurav.
Yeah.
Now, this is a global study. This was done by one of the top consulting firms, but basically shows that are more like 16% more likely to meet their targets. They are 2x likely to get promoted, and about 50% more likely to meet their sales quota. And this is a global study, so you will see on world map, what is the percentage of responses from different countries and continents. Now, who would not want to be in this position? And to be in this position, you really need to pay attention to the next few slides. Over to the next one, Gaurav. So we in HCL started our social selling journey about 2.5 years ago, and we basically wanted to pilot it with a small country or region for us, which is Australia and New Zealand. And depending on the success of the pilot, we wanted to scale it globally. So when we started the engagement, in a quick 60 days time, our sales managers using social selling techniques uh, started conversations in about 1400 new accounts, where before this we were not even talking to the decision makers, or we had no insights. So 1395 new customer conversations started. Sales managers connected to 4,000 key decision makers uh, whom they had no connections with. Now, what is really, really heartening is social media is usually berated for being very good for brand awareness and salience marketing, but not considered very effective for performance marketing. And here, social selling actually influenced $350 million of order booking, which is massive. Um Now, if you compare their performance pre and post social selling, uh, sales managers on an average closed 105% more orders. Their bid to win ratio increased by 20%. And finally, the time taken to close an opportunity reduced by 26 days. So phenomenal work done by HCL account managers, hunters who adopted this program and made this a great success. And basis this, we rolled it out globally, and it's a massive initiative at HCL. Now, HCL is not the only company. In fact, some very large other companies are also successfully using social selling. Our colleagues and industry friends at IBM, um, they started a pilot program which they scaled it up globally. And IBM actually started very small with only 7 people, and their LinkedIn followers went from about 500 to 3,500, and their pilot and their increase in adoption of social selling helped them really cross the industry benchmark of about 60-70% people meeting their sales quota to about 80%. Uh, in fact, average for that year, and this is a 2-year-old case study, was about 43%. So from a 43% people meeting their sales quota to about 80%, massive jump. Oracle is another company which implemented social selling massively, trained about 23,000 sales managers on social selling. HP has been using social selling. Netscape has been, so many companies are using social selling. GE has been using social selling, and it's become a very strong industry phenomena. And the way you should think about this is, uh, if you were a good salesperson earlier, social selling will make you an exceptional salesperson. And if you were really struggling to meet your targets earlier, social selling will ensure that you come up to speed and you start meeting your targets. Next slide, Gaurav. Now, let me take you through what is the framework we used in HCL for social selling. And we wrote a book, me and Gaurav actually co-authored a book, which is a bestseller on Amazon, which talks more about the process. But what we basically said is to keep it simple. Most sales managers hate being trained. They think they already know it all. They are already successful. So they really don't need training to do even better. So you have to keep it simple. What we basically told them is the first step is uh, understanding what are you trying to sell in the market and what should you be known for. So for an example, if somebody is selling cloud computing services, his market persona or his social persona has to be that of a thought leader who understands cloud computing, understands where is the world moving to very well. Uh, Now we made them actually create their social media personas, profiles across channels like LinkedIn, Twitter, uh, Google Plus, and more on it later. The second step is actually creating, collating, and publishing content. Now, what most people struggle with is writing original content. And I can say, even though I'm an author, I write for many magazines and newspapers. Uh, Writing is always tough. You don't have a lot of time. You're between meetings, so actually creating original content is tough. But what I would say is, don't be disheartened. Curation of content is equally important. So if you actually figure out who are the opinion leaders, thought leaders in your industry, in your service line, and actually start publishing content from them, you will be seen as a thought leader. The easiest definition for thought leadership, of course, being thought leadership is the company you keep. So if you publish content from thought leaders, you will be seen to be a thought leader. The third step is actually identifying which of your prospects are on social media. Now, when we started the journey, a lot of sales managers pushed back to us and said, hey, we only sell to C-suite like CMOs, CIOs, and most of them are not on social media. Well, we were not surprised, but actually most of them are on social media now. The fourth is actually trying to listen to topics which interest your prospects. And there are a lot of buying signals which prospects give out on social media. So how do you become aware of it? How do you ensure that you start understanding what are they going through, what are their interests, what are they thinking about, and using all this knowledge and competitive intel and market intel, you come to the fifth stage, which is when you make approach to a prospect. And my colleague Gaurav later is going to talk about how do you use standard templates to make the prospect approach. And last is how do you continuously engage with prospects and nurture a relationship. Now, what you really need to understand is social selling is not about closing a deal. Now, if that shocks you, let me come to the next part of the equation. Social selling is not about closing a deal, it's about opening a relationship. When you open a relationship, deals will follow you. So always ensure that you follow ABC, which is basically always be connecting, and you move the suspect through the funnel of awareness, consideration, and transaction. With that, I would like to hand over to my colleague and co-presenter, Gaurav.
Thanks, Apur, for giving fantastic overview about the social selling program and how HCL leverage it. Now, Apur has briefly covered what social selling is and how HCL and other companies are using it and benefits that they have leveraged from this program. And now I'm going to cover the how part of it. So moving to the stage one, it is all about incubating and setting up for the program. So the first stage is about understanding what social media platforms are relevant to you and how do you create presence on those social media platforms. So most of you are already present on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, but also there is presence required across Google Plus and SlideShare. So Google Plus is not dead. In fact, a lot of people are using it for search engine optimization. So whatever blog they make, first they post it on Google Plus so that it gets crawled easily. And after that, it is very important that you improve your searchability and preferably on Google. So if I ask you a question that you put your first name and last name on Google, can you check how many of you are coming in top 10? It's very important to be in top 3 result when someone is searching for you. And there are ways to crack that. It is followed by setting up various social media channels and setting up the content curation platform. So let me show you some of the techniques which you can use to optimize your profile. So the first one is whenever you create a profile, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, always include your company name on your profile, because people might be searching with you combination of your name and your company name. Always use relevant profile picture across the platform, and it should be consistent. And LinkedIn and Facebook, people say it should be something different, but what we follow is that it should look very similar so that people are able to recognize you. Now, the third part is always use relevant keywords in your persona. Like in this example, Puneet Mehrotra has used infrastructure division, which is a relevant keyword for him. And what you can do, you can also use a tool called word cloud and look for what people are searching for. Once you put the text into the word cloud, it will give you relevant keywords with the higher weightage, and you should include that into your profile and preferably into your title. So lastly, you should be active on social media so that people know that you're actively present and you can broadcast your messages and engage with the decision makers. Now we have covered the stage one, which is wherein you have created your presence on social media. It is followed by publishing relevant content on social media. Now there are different ways. Like Apur mentioned, it's not always important to create the content, but it is very important to curate the content. So there are some of the best practices that we always follow and we always tell people to follow, like what would a perfect tweet look like? So it should contain relevant hashtags, it should contain relevant messaging, it should tag relevant people, and we should also keep some characters blank in order to engage with other people. So other people can reply to you, share their point of view while retweeting you. So this is a sample of how perfect tweet should look like. Now, if your organization is already active on social media, you can leverage it. Like Apur mentioned, that if you are not able to give time to create the content, then you can leverage the organization content. So like HCL is very active on all the social media platforms, and we always tell our salespeople to begin with use the content which is already published every day on social media platform. It not only amplifies the reach of the company, but it also helps you curate the content which is relevant to your profile. Now there are some tools. So in this particular webinar, we are also going to show some tools which will very handy for you, and you can note it down. So one of the tools for IT industry is Smart Brief. And another one which I found very relevant is Tech Target, which I personally use. So it gives you, so the beauty of the Tech Target is that it gives you ready-made content which can be published by adding your point of view on relevant topics. And it gives you specific topics within the portal. Now, some of you might be aware about Cloud. It gives you the score, but it not only gives you the score about your social presence, it also gives you the content which is relevant as per your social presence. So these are some of the tools to begin with in case you feel challenged to create your own content. Now, once you have got the content, you can use a tool called HootSuite, which is a great listening, publishing, and engaging platform. So we'll talk more about it. Now we are on stage 3. So once you have created your presence, once you have started publishing the content, now it's time to look for your prospects. How do you identify? How do you map the prospect presence on various social media platforms? And we suggest to use a tool called Riffle, RIFFLE. I will show the name. So what it does, if you have the Twitter handle of an individual, you input that Twitter handle into it, and it will give you the other profiles of the prospect. So it will give you Facebook profile, LinkedIn profile, and Google Plus profile.
Now this is very critical, because often you know the names of people, but you really struggle to find out their Twitter handles, their Google Plus profile. So this is a great shortcut, shared by Gaurav on identifying a 360-degree social presence of a person.
Thanks, Apur. So so it's a great time saver. We personally have used it, and it has worked for not only for us but also for our sales managers. So on the middle is the name of the tool, Riffle, and there are other tools which can be used to identify the prospect. One of them is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So if you look into the LinkedIn profile, some of the people have entered their Twitter handle, so they have linked their Twitter handle with LinkedIn profile, so that's one of the other shortcuts. So if you know the LinkedIn profile, you can get the Twitter handle. And the third tool is Cloud. So there is a query. So if you open cloud.com / put hash over there and put the Twitter handle of the individual, like let's say A1PURVA, which is Apur's Twitter handle, then you will get all of his social presence. So Apur, you will be bombarded with many requests.
Yeah, when you send us questions, do remember to tag Marius, UpGrad, Weber, all the people who are leaders at UpGrad.
All right, so now once you have identified the presence of your prospect, it's time to understand what are the preferences, what kind of topics the prospect is interested in. So uh, don't approach the prospect right now, even if you know their social presence. It's a time to carefully listen what interests them. Like in this screen, you can see uh, we have mentioned a tweet from Jeff Cobb, who's the deputy CEO of John Hopkins, and he visited SAP, Apple, and Salesforce. So prospect is something looking related to these products. And in the second tweet, he's not satisfied with SAP, and that's what he has mentioned over here. So maybe he's looking forward for some kind of SAP relationship. So you get a trigger, is he facing any challenge with respect to SAP? So it is something you should definitely know. Now there is another tool which is free, which we all know, LinkedIn. So what it does, once you have the LinkedIn profile of the individual, um, you can set up alert about that individual. So let's say Sandeep Kishore, I want to tag, I want to track about him. So I can go to the advanced search of LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile, and I can put his name and create an alert around him. Not only this, you can also create an alert around who are the VPs who are joining HCL Technologies, who are the SVPs who are joining UpGrad. So the way to do it is search based on the title, like you do the normal search. Once you do the search, save it. So once you save it, you will get this screen, and whenever someone joins SVP or at UpGrad, or someone get promoted to SVP at UpGrad, you will get an alert, and it can be weekly or daily. So it's a fantastic way to begin the conversation. Like someone has been promoted, so you can reach out to them and congratulate. Now, this is something Apurva was mentioning too. Once you have the social presence of individual, and by listening, just by listening, you can come up with the buyer persona template. Like in this example, you can see the buyer persona template of Jeff Cobb, who's the deputy CIO at John Hopkins. So you can see there are very minute detail mentioned in this persona template, like his past organization, conferences attended in past, likes, interest, what kind of music he likes, what kind of restaurant he like taco, what kind of gadgets he like. So everything is mentioned over here. So it is very important to be understanding all this before you reach to the prospect. And if you want, we can share this particular template with you. So it gives you a shortcut about how you can fill this template. All right, so I'm a big fan of this tool, Newsly. In fact, Apur, I was reading a lot about your coverage in media using this tool. I read an article about your coverage in CMO.com about videos platform, so it was fantastic. Yeah. Right. So it's one of the tools which is freely available. So what it does, it is connected with LinkedIn. Now, once you use this tool, you have to log in with your LinkedIn credentials. And once you do that, it will give you alerts about all the individuals who are connected with you on LinkedIn and are getting covered in any media, print media, or digital media. So you will get an alert about those individuals. So like on this screenshot, you can see articles in which Sandeep Kishore has been mentioned. Now it's a great conversation starter. So everybody would like to understand, know about their. If you read an article about coverage of an individual, you can share your point of view. You can tell them, oh, fantastic article, something like that. Okay, so moving forward, we are on the second last stage. Once you listen to the prospect, now it's time to approach to them. Now there are different ways to approach the prospect, and I'm going to cover LinkedIn preferably. So what generally happens when we want to connect with someone on LinkedIn, we send a default message, which is uncontextual and non-contextual, and people generally ignore that. So if you go other way, and if you include some of these tips into your customized LinkedIn invitation, mind you, you will get more than 90% of acceptance. So what you should do, you should include the personalized greeting, how you know them, you should give them the context, why do you want to connect, what is it for them. So you should mention all this. Definitely you will get much more acceptance as compared to the default message which is being sent. Now, okay. So that's one of the way to connect with a prospect. And moving to the last stage, which is about once you have created your presence, once you know the presence of your prospect, you have approached them. Now the time to start the conversation with them. And one of the example over here is again Jeff Cobb we have taken. Now he has, if you look into the second tweet, he has mentioned, "Dear esteemed IT colleagues, anyone having experience with Aptio? If so, please let me know." Now it doesn't matter if you know Aptio or not. You want to connect with this individual. Search about it, what Aptio is, what are the tools which are relevant, which can be substitute of Aptio. Create your point of view, create a blog, and send an article to him. It won't take more than 30 to 40 minutes to understand what it is. And even if you don't have any background, I can tell you, you can definitely come up with a fantastic point of view, and you can definitely. And once you respond to this particular person with your point of view, your more than 99% chance you will get a response he will really appreciate, and you will create a mind share within your prospect. So you really need to find out what are the conversation trigger, and once you get to the conversation trigger, try to act on them. And there are two tools which we recommend to use for this. One is HootSuite. So I'm sure most of you might be aware about HootSuite. So what it does, it gives you different kind of dashboard wherein you can put the prospect Twitter handle or LinkedIn profile, and you get the relevant tweets of that individual. Not only what tweet the person is posting, but also what people are talking about him. So once you do that, you have created the dashboards. Find out the relevant trigger. Maybe you can create a filter within HootSuite about relevant trigger points like buying, not satisfied, pricing. So such kind of keywords you can insert. So once you get a relevant tweet which contain all this, which satisfy all of your criteria, now it's a time to reach out to them and start your conversation. Okay, so with this, we have covered all the stages of social selling framework, which we have deployed at HCL and saw fantastic results coming out of it. And that gave us confidence to write a book and share our learnings, because once we were thinking of rolling out this program, we couldn't find the how part of social selling. We really struggled, and once we learned it, we thought to share it with the audience like you who are very passionate about social selling. So these are some of the feedback. Apu, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so basically, the interesting thing about the book is we got the book contract using social selling. So we found publishers online, editors online. We started socially profiling them. We started listening to what are they sharing, what are they talking about, and the book order actually came. We signed the deal on Twitter, and the book has done very well. It's a bestseller on Amazon, and I would strongly recommend it for anybody who wants to granularly understand how to use social media to set up a B2B business and exponentially grow it. And these comments are actually from thought leaders in Kellogg's, Wharton, London School of Economics, and professional CEOs like Olivier Legrand, who's the CEO of LinkedIn in Asia Pacific. Okay, now this is a very interesting letter, and I just thought I'll share it. This is a letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, which is actually recognizing the book and the importance of social media in transforming India. And this is one of the highlights of, I would say, my life and definitely Gaurav's life.
Yeah.
So that's the power of social selling.
Great. Thank you so much, guys, I think that was very exciting to hear your insights on social selling. I think that was a great session so far. Now we are switching to the live Q&As, and we got many questions. So I just post these questions now one by one. And the first question we got from Harit Rati is asking, Indians still lack the instinct to buy online and believe in the notion of touch and feel. How should one seller overcome this?
So that's a very good question, and I think it is larger than social selling. I think what sellers are doing, and there are various techniques. So depending on the value of the purchase, if it is very low value, like a book, or maybe even a FMCG product like shampoos, companies are running massive discounts. Companies like Flipkart and Amazon, which is nothing but to get people to get online and become comfortable with buying online and understand the convenience of it. Now, you definitely cannot do this for a expensive category like cars, but cash on delivery, getting people to buy on discount are some of the ways in which people are, internet companies are trying to get over the hump of getting people comfortable with buying online.
And we have another question here of Kartik. Kartik is asking, do Snapchat and Pinterest are going to take social selling to the next level?
So, at least in our industry, we don't find Snapchat and Pinterest being huge on social selling. But if you're talking about a different category, because Pinterest is a very, very visual medium. So if you're talking about fashion, if you're talking about food, definitely the influencers and the buyers would be on Pinterest. Gaurav, would you like to add on something to it?
Yeah, Apu. So what I have personally felt, and I couldn't get time for that, and I really wanted to do it for our salespeople. We really wanted to convert.
Sorry to interrupt, but Gaurav, maybe you could stop the slide share and so that we see you. That would be great.
All right, sure. Okay. So while I'm doing that, I will answer the question. So what I realized, there is a huge potential of Pinterest in terms of the kind of case studies which are really, really boring in B2B industry where we operate. So it can be converted into nice infographics. In fact, there are companies which are just providing services in terms of converting the case study into infographic. I think if you talk about Pinterest, that's one of the innovative way to convert the case studies into infographic and leverage the platform. And you can create your own boards, and there are a lot of people who are there for buying other things, but if you target them, so it also provides targeting. So if you can leverage, you will be the first class company who would be leveraging this platform, and you will get the first mover advantage.
Yeah, great. We have one question. I think you have talked about it a lot, but maybe like one of you can maybe crisply summarize that. But Shrikant is asking, how effectively can we use social media as a B2B brand?
So let me make sure that I've understood the question. Is it about how do you use social media to create a B2B brand?
No, as a B2B company.
Okay.
In the B2B segment.
Okay. Understood. So both me and Gaurav work for HCL Technologies, which is a $7 billion B2B company. And the case study which we narrated to you and the process which we took you through will basically help you create a brand for your company and also do lead generation.
In fact, just to add to it, we at HCL follow a very organic kind of approach, and through that only we have generated more than $1 billion funnel through various digital platform. And the way to do it is coming up with the comprehensive digital marketing strategy approach and leveraging and impacting the various buying journey of an individual, of the customer. So we have defined various platforms across the buying journey of the customer, wherein we have defined which particular channel will impact the awareness stage, desire stage, interest stage, and the conversion stage. And after mapping that, we have given weightage, and we do a multi-channel attribution analytics, wherein we optimize, we either promote the channel or we discard the channel based on the analytics that we do.
Okay, great. We have one question here from Monisha. Monisha is asking, why is a return on investment tracking important in digital?
Excellent question. So I think one of the key things, parameters which differentiates digital marketing from conventional marketing is ROI orientation and ability to start small with very limited budgets and in a very agile fashion use analytics. And analytics could be things like open rates, CPM, CTR, CPL to rapidly make changes to the media plan and strategy. And that's one of the things which I find most exciting about digital marketing. And if you're not leveraging the power of analytics to optimize and creatively flight the campaign midway, then you're really, really missing out on one of the huge advantages which digital marketing offers.
Great. We have one question here from Gagan. Gagan is asking, does Facebook marketing or social selling even work when my target audience is between the age of 30 to 50?
Well, you'd be surprised that more grandmothers are on Facebook than youngsters. So yes, even if your target audience is between 35 to 60 or 50, social selling will work. Facebook had started off as a personal network, but more and more we are finding that the lines are blurring. So you're meeting people professionally, but they're adding you on Facebook and often a lot of discussions. So Facebook has become the new golf course in a way.
Rashmi is asking, what are the best ways and strategies to get only relevant audiences to your page? How to narrow down your advert audience to specifics?
So Rashmi, I assume when you're talking about page, you're talking about both a Facebook page and a web page which you have set up for yourself or your brand. Now, I'll share my comments and then I'll request Gaurav to add on. So when you're talking about a Facebook page and you're doing organic, make sure that the content is very, very tailored to the kind of target audience you reach. The kind of people you tag should be very, very relevant. And of course, when you're doing paid, it makes it much easier because you can, select by demography, by location, and you can create a media plan when you're configuring the Facebook ad, which includes things like people who like a certain kind of a serial or people who follow certain kind of pages. When you're talking about a web page and not a Facebook page, it becomes slightly more difficult. And that's where content marketing kicks in. So the kind of content you have on your web page should be very, very, again, tailored to the target audience. The kind of links you have on your web page should come from relevant sites, which are very, very focused on your target audience. And that will ensure that the spillage is bare minimum and very, very relevant audience comes onto your web page and Facebook page.
Yeah, just to add to it, I'm a big fan of organic, and just to give you an example, when Apur and I were thinking about creating the digital presence around this book, and till date, we haven't spent a single dollar on promoting this particular book. So we are all organic, and the way we did it, we started very early. We defined, so let's say Apur talked about website page. We thought about a name which was really, really challenging for us to rank in Google top 10. You are the key, which I still remember Apu came up with the thought, and I was not convinced because it was very competitive keyword, but Apu was very confident, so we went with that keyword and we named our website You Are the Key -socialselling.com. And the way we did it, we integrated blog platform into our website, and it really, really helped us in search engine optimization, in coming up with the very, very relevant keywords which help us rank high. So when you talk about creating page, you really need to understand where it is going to impact the buying journey. Is it just the awareness where it will impact, or the conversion? So, and you should define which page would be relevant for you, whether Facebook would be relevant for you or website would be relevant for you. So if you come with that mindset and understanding, I think it's all about leveraging this platform organically. I'm again reiterating, spend very less and you will learn a lot.
Interesting. We have one more question here from Mudit. Mudit is asking, how good is Quora in SlideShare as a channel? Should I consider it?
Yeah, Apur, should I take it?
Yeah, absolutely. Gaurav, take it. And Mudit, this is an excellent question.
Okay, so Mudit, yeah, I agree. So there is a huge relevance of SlideShare, even people don't use it, but I have used it personally. So we were running a campaign around application management and outsourcing. So Apur gave us a brief that, guys, come up with the 50 leads with spending very few dollars, and I want a huge outcome from organic. And at that time, we went and explored various organic channels, and one of the platform which came out was SlideShare. Now, what we did, we created a small deck around application support and maintenance, and put the relevant keywords in the SlideShare deck, come up with a very optimized URL, and you won't believe we were beating the competition within the 21 days. We were ranking third in search engine optimization on Google top 10. So again, so if you want to understand more about how to do it, I have my own SlideShare channel. You can go to that. The handle is Gaurav1069. In fact, Apur also has a SlideShare handle. He is a lot of knowledge base is there on how to leverage SlideShare. So Apur, would you like to add?
Yeah. So I think both SlideShare and Quora are brilliant backdoor entries into lead generation. If you actually go into questions and search for questions which are about your particular industry, so say UpGrad is a digital marketing course, and UpGrad wants to attract people to apply for its courses, uh, there would be people asking about which is a good digital marketing course to go for. And if somebody from UpGrad, the marketing manager or the sales manager, goes and actually, without sounding very salesy, starts answering questions and builds up credibility, there would be a lot of inbound action which UpGrad would see. You can do the same on SlideShare. SlideShare is owned by LinkedIn. It is seen as a very, very high authoritative source on content marketing. It's seen as more editorial and less advertising. So SlideShare is another way to quickly build backlinks, get SEO juice flowing, and drive leads into your business.
Great, thanks a lot. Lalit is asking, is it possible to sell premium products in the range of above 40K through social media? And what are your thoughts around that?
Absolutely. What I would say is the more expensive the product, the more targeted social media allows you to be. And I'll give you an example. Say you're selling housing apartments in Bombay worth 5 crores each. What you can do is a very, very simple, I'll teach you a trick. Target people whose job is changing and who are moving from, say, director to VP or senior vice president or, say, VP to CEO, and show them display advertising and configure your ads in such a way that only people whose designation is changing see an ad which basically says congratulations uh, on moving upwards or getting elevated or on your promotion. Isn't it time you upgrade your lifestyle as well? Buy this house here. So, example of paid advertising. You can also use in-mails. You could do content marketing. So yes, social selling is definitely very, very relevant. Social media is very relevant for bill of material and products worth 40,000 and above.
Great. I think Upasana here is still not so convinced, but she's asking, people in India don't generally take social media seriously. Is it a good idea spending time on social media to actually sell goods or services? Maybe you guys can just give one good example.
Okay. So thank you for asking, and that's a very honest question. So the way I would say is there are two things. If you're on social media and you are in the ABC mode is always be closing. If you think that you're just going to meet someone on social media and you're going to close a deal, my friend, you might be disappointed. You have to be in the mode of ABC, but the ABC here stands for always be connecting, uh, always be very helpful on social media, create a persona of a thought leader, and yes, business will follow you. And I don't think social media is not popular in India. Uh, the highest number of Twitter followers globally are in India. The recent sale of LinkedIn to Microsoft, one of the biggest reason was the traction which LinkedIn has in India. Facebook reports massive numbers in India. So social media is very, very popular. In fact, today you will see even conventional advertising like print ads and TV ads carrying hashtag. Our Prime Minister, PM Modi, has done a great job of popularizing social media. So very respectfully, I would disagree when you say that. If you look at the internet penetration in India, about 473 million people are on internet. So social media is becoming very, very popular. We are still away from US. So US has 78% internet penetration, but with hopefully 4G services being very accessible and cheap with Reliance Jio launching soon, uh, I think that will change.
So I would like to add an example to this. One of my friend who runs the agency, he was managing the social presence of his customer at India, and the customer was into healthcare industry. So once the customer was not very convinced about the social media presence, and he suggested the agency to create a fake profile, not a actual profile of that individual. Now, what the agency created a profile because they have to agree to the brief which has been shared by the customer. Once they did that, the profile, they also did a promotion around the content. So they published very relevant content from that profile. Now, the profile got very, very popular. So, and then that particular individual realized that social media has got huge potential. Now, it was too late, so the gentleman asked him that how can I convert this fake profile into my actual profile? Then the company told them it's not possible, so you have to begin, you have to begin again. So again, they got more the business again, but that was a loss to individual.
Great. We have a question here from 1 minute. I just lost this track right now. Yeah, from Saurabh. Saurabh is asking, sorry guys, Saurabh is asking, how does one leverage social listening to create relevant content for diverse audiences?
How does one, yeah, okay. So firstly, I would challenge the assumption in the question, the inbuilt assumption, which is you're catering to diverse audiences. I think the first golden rule of marketing is know your customer, segment the market, target your proposition, and be very, very clear on your target audience. So the first thing I would do is, if your audience is very, very diverse, think about what is the commonality between them, what is the homogeneity, and use that to actually create content, because there is no way you can try to be everything to everybody. If your content, your social presence is trying to be everything to everybody, you will end up becoming nothing to nobody, which is not a good place to be in.
So Krishna is asking, should we go for hard sell or should we go for soft sell?
I am a huge fan of soft sell.
First thing is no
soft sell.
Okay, Apu, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying hard sell doesn't work. The thumb rule on social media, which you should always remember, is never do on social media which you would not do in real life. And let me give you an example. Do you want to be the person whom your friends avoid because every time you meet them, you're trying to sell something? If you don't want to be that person, you shouldn't be that person on social media as well. So not a huge fan of a hard sell. I think be a content marketer, be a thought leader, and leads will chase you rather than you chasing leads.
Absolutely, I agree. In fact, just to add, what I believe is that if you go through the 6 stages which we have shown demonstrated in the presentation, there wasn't even a single stage which talked about selling. It was all about helping the prospect, understanding their pain points, and giving them the best solution. So I still believe you should only connect, and whenever you have to sell, take the relationship offline and talk about it.
Great. Interesting. So then Vaishak is asking a question more towards careers, I think. What is the role played by digital marketing IT giants like HCL? Are there enough opportunities for digital marketers in the IT field?
Gaurav, do you want to take this up?
Oh yes, thanks, Apu. So yes, in fact, IT giant like HCL, they have realized the potential of digital, and they have set up a different business unit. So HCL has come up with the business unit called Beyond Digital, which provides digitalization services to Fortune 500 clients. So the way we do it is into two parts. The first service that we offer is enterprise digitalization, whereas we go to the clients and look into the processes across various area of enterprise and come up with the offerings around enterprise digitalization, which includes modernization of SAP using Fiori, HANA, and UI5, and Microsoft Dynamics, and other enterprise systems. And the second offering that we have come up with is something very relevant to digital marketers, like the gentleman who has asked the question. So under this, we have a couple of services. One of them is digital marketing as a service, wherein we offer the digital marketing, all the services that we have in digital marketing, which agency provides. So we are also offering that to the clients. And we follow a very structured approach. We have created various IPs, like we have created a digital marketing maturity framework, which come up with the scoring of the current landscape of the organization. So we rate how the company is performing right now on various digital marketing channels, and we define what should be the target operating model and the way to do it. So, Apur, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think the other question is purely from a career perspective. So there are tons of job opportunities in IT companies for proficient digital marketers. So not only for full stack marketers, but also for specialists in SEO, display marketing, email marketing, marketing automation. And if any of you are interested, feel free to apply directly to us. You can find me on LinkedIn or Twitter.
But today you are going to get more than 1,000 requests.
Yeah. So I think one of the last questions now. Irene is asking. I have a question that for bigger brand, it is very easy to do social selling. What would you advise for new upcomers when they were to start this initiative? Is there a difference?
I think it's the other way around. For smaller brand, it is much easier because for us it was very, very difficult to convince our management and to our sales team, who are spread across different geographies, to make them come together and help them understand what social selling is, how it will help them. For a smaller company who are born digital, in fact, it's very, very easier because they know the potential of social media, digital media, and I think other ways. So, Apu, what are your viewpoints?
Yeah, I don't think it's a question of large or small. It's a question on company's risk appetite. If the company is more conservative by nature, yes, you might take longer to sell, but keep at it, show them early successes, quick wins, and that should help you move the momentum behind social selling.
Now the last question, Jeet is asking, how can we market niche products on social media? Is it possible?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a great question. So social media actually is one of the best places for long tail marketing. And if you say marketing LPs, these are before records came out, before cassettes came out, and before music became completely digital. For any kind of a niche product on social media, you will find communities of people who are interested in it. And in case you don't find communities of people who are interested in it, you should take the lead and create a community. Now, to seed the community with members, create outstanding content around that niche product or service, and get people interested in it. And that will start getting you interest from members who would want to be a part of the community. And you might actually end up creating a very profitable market for yourself.
And just to add to this, you can use for complex product, you can use channels like SlideShare or YouTube, preferably YouTube, to create small, not more than 1 or 2 minutes videos, which explains about the product, and it's a great way people are looking. It's the second largest search engine after Google. Great.
Thank you so much, guys. I think that was a very exciting session. Gaurav and Apurva, what I would just do, you guys know that we are running a digital marketing program, and the ones who are interested in that, I'll just take 2-3 minutes to run you through what we have tried to actually create here at UpGrad to expose you to the latest technologies and the latest trends in digital marketing. So allow me just 2-3 minutes to give you some idea on what this program is about. So let me just do this in full screen. So let me first talk a little bit about the syllabus that we have tried to create and to put together for you guys. We're talking about a 5-month program together, and this 5-month program designed for individuals, whether you are a traditional marketer or newcomer in marketing who is going into the digital field, or whether you are a digital marketer who wants to step up the game to the next level and actually understand the bigger picture in marketing. This program will help you. What we will cover in the first 4 weeks of the UpGrad Digital Marketing Program is essentially the fundamentals of branding and marketing. You will understand the fundamentals of branding, the fundamentals of marketing, what is segmenting, how do I actually create a brand, how do I actually create users, user personas in my company, how do I create marketing strategies, how do I differentiate between B2B and B2C marketing. You will also understand the fundamentals of digital. What are the key metrics that I should look into? What are the key channels that I should actually look at? And how do I actually follow the consumer across the digital funnel, right? What is the funnel that I have to focus on when I'm actually trying to market a product, when I'm trying to create awareness for my product or for my service, when I'm trying to convert leads for my product or service, or when I'm actually trying to nurture these leads. So after these first 4 weeks, once you have a solid foundation about the fundamentals of branding and the fundamentals of digital, you will then go into deep dives into each of the channels and each of the vehicles that you have at your discretion when you are a digital marketer in a company or when you want to start your career in digital, right? We will go into the difficulties and the techniques of SEO marketing, SEM marketing, social media marketing, social media advertisement, display marketing, affiliate marketing. You will learn how to actually create your website, how to run A/B tests, how to optimize conversion rates, how to actually nurture the leads that you have. You will hear growth hacks and how to actually do growth hacking. So these 10 weeks deep dives are really there to equip you hands-on with the skills that are required to manage all of these channels and eventually to attract your audience, to engage with your prospects, and eventually convert these prospects to consumers. These 10 weeks also expose you to the key tools that you will have to use or you have to be familiar with, whether you are a digital marketing manager in a senior position or whether you are aspiring to be a digital marketer in a senior position, whether you want to be a general marketing manager in the digital age. You need to be familiar with some tools like and Gaurav and Apurva have mentioned some of them, but some tools like WordPress, some tools like HubSpot, tools like Twitter, tools like Unmetric, tools like Google AdWords, Google Analytics, Facebook Power Editor. All of these are tools that you have to be familiar with in the digital age. You have to know the tricks. You have to know how to use all of these tools to actually create powerful digital marketing strategies. And the last 6 weeks of the program is then all about creating holistic digital marketing strategies. So after going through deep dives in each of these different channels, right, you will then understand how to create powerful digital marketing strategies across these channels. How do I actually do cross-channel optimization? How do I use data to optimize the strategies that I have? How do I evolve from competition? And how do I actually formulate holistic digital marketing strategies? So I think these 5 months will really expose you not only to the tools that you need, but really to the hands-on experience that you will require to actually start your career in digital. Let me briefly talk about the folks that we have in the program. We have with us a unique set of individuals who are coming in to guest lecture in the program, to share their experience and their input in the program. We have Ashok Lala, who has led the digital transformation of Touch Hotels, who has been with Infosys, the lead for the global digital marketing team. We have Jaideep Prabhu, who is a professor of marketing from Cambridge University, to run you through the fundamentals of branding and marketing. We have Suja Golan, the head of digital marketing of InMobi, the world's largest mobile marketing platform. Karan Sareen, who heads marketing for OnePlus, one of the coolest mobile brands. Obviously, we have Apurva with us. I think he doesn't need an introduction anymore. but many more individuals like Saki Dio, who is the lead of digital marketing and data analytics for Microsoft. Individuals like Rajiv Sharma speaking in the program, who was the former head of digital for JWT, one of the largest and most global agencies in the world. So individuals who are really the thought leaders in this space will actually run you through the program and will run you through the different topics that you are exposed to throughout this 5-month UpGrad digital marketing program. Let me talk a little bit for 1 minute around why we believe that this is a program that will help you. What we believe at UpGrad is that education can only be fruitful and can only be successful if you learn from real-life examples and real-life experiences. When you have mentors from the industry, when you have the opportunity to interact and being coached by mentors from the industry. And that is why we have created a tool set or a set of 15 case studies and real-life industry projects with companies like the Walt Disney Company, the largest media company in the world, with brands like Penguin Books, the world's largest book publisher, but also with digital-first brands like Grofers. We are working together with the leading agencies like OLM, like Group M, iProspect, Digitas LVI. Obviously, also we are happy to do a case study with HCL. So brands that will actually run you through some of the examples that they have been through, some of the challenges that they have solved throughout the last years, so that you can actually be put into the shoes of the decision makers in these brands and figure out what you have to be aware of when you start your job in this domain. We are organizing a virtual career fair where you can interact with industry experts and industry professionals from some of the top brands and agencies in the countries. We are providing you with career mentoring and skill profiling throughout the program. If you want to change your career, if you want to step up your game to the next level and become a digital manager rather than a digital executive, this program can help you. As part of the program, we have live coaching, and I think one of the most integral parts of the program is the opportunity to run live campaigns, right? We believe that you are only really good and do what you do when you have really done it and when you have gained some experience. So we have partnered with some of the leading companies like Twitter, Facebook, Google to actually allow you to run live campaigns in the program, to actually really use real money to test your campaigns, to tweak around your campaigns, to optimize your campaigns, to set up account structures so that you do not only learn it in lectures but really apply your knowledge hands-on. And with this, I'm closing on this webinar tonight. I think I hope I could answer some of the questions that you might have had around the program. If you are interested in it, please feel free to reach out to all our folks at UpGrad, who will help you and guide you through the nitty-gritties of the program. The program starts in August, so if you are interested, apply early and make sure to save a seat for you. Until then, I would thank you, all of you guys, for coming. It was, I think, an amazing audience that we had today. Thanks so much, Apurva and Gaurav, for taking out your time and doing this with us tonight. I think it was extremely insightful, and I think if you guys are interested in social selling, want to know more about it, I think they have given the link to their book, and I think that's an extremely exciting opportunity for you guys to read up. If you are a B2B brand, I think it's the best way to really learn from the best, and I think the guys from HCL know best how to do B2B marketing, how to do social selling. So thank you so much for taking out your time, and see you next time. Stay tuned for the next webinars that we are hosting, and until then, stay tuned and check out UpGrad.
Thank you, Marius, Weber, everybody else at the UpGrad team. It's a fantastic program, and all of us would strongly recommend all the audience and viewers to consider it.
Thanks, Marius. Thanks,
Apurva signing off from London. Have a great evening.
Thanks, guys, from all over the world. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.